I think
I don't know where you're putting that in, but it's going in.
at the very beginning. Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
All right. Welcome into episode 11. Casting of episode 11. No, episode 11 of
What
The Roast
movie?
of Us. Leslie's out of pocket this week, so
Thank God.
I brought in 2 men to replace 1 woman. You know, because that's normally what it takes. Women are better than men in most cases, I believe. You know.
You gonna?
I don't want to be canceled on my debut. So
Let's try to set you guys up to failure immediately.
yeah.
All right. Well, this is, for those of you who do not know, this is Anthony, my Amish friend. No neck Tony, as you guys like to call him.
Man, he did me dirty.
I did. That was the
He
worst
did me
camera
dirty.
angle. That's why you asked me what angle is bad for me, because you figured out what one's bad for you.
Yeah.
Right
Nobody-
in your face looking down.
Nobody has a neck if you're peering down the forehead.
From the floor.
This is Anthony, like you're showing them your kids.
Standing over, you're like 4 foot tall.
I mean, he literally tried to put the camera in my nostrils. The lens circumference is about the same of my nostril. So
And for those of you who haven't seen Carlton, this is Carlton. He bangs my sister. That's how.
I swear, every
So
episode,
you could say he's family.
every episode, he makes a point to say. By the way, he's begging my sister. That's not our relationship.
I mean,
I'm dating his sister-in-law. All right,
yeah. So we're almost brothers.
basically,
Not yet, because
Not yet.
he doesn't want to commit. No. Kylie doesn't
Dang.
watch it. No one
Can
cares.
we start
Kylie
over?
is the biggest hater.
That's not true, everyone. It's
Kylie
true.
does not watch this.
No,
Look me in the eyes
not
when
at
Kylie
all.
Watches this.
I know she does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can say anything about her right now. The only reason I think she would watch is if I gave her like a big shout out. Actually,
No.
I shouted out her business already.
No, but she might
Did
actually
she watch that?
On the opening day.
Does she even know?
No, I told her about it, and she saw the edit. When I was editing it, she
Okay.
saw. She
Then
didn't
she saw-
watch the
then
full
she saw.
finished product. But yeah, she'll definitely watch this one because she knows I'm on it.
Mm,
No, she will. I promise.
yeah, well.
Because she said,
So
"Don't
this
look
is
too
my
good
chance.
on there."
This is my chance.
Yes. Yeah.
They're not going to be together long.
In that case,
No, I don't. Here's the thing. I didn't even plan anything for this episode either. And right before the show, I was like, "Hey, do you guys have any like topics you want to talk about or anything like that?" And Carlton was like, "Yeah, let's talk about the submarine." And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go with what I thought, which is just go off, because they're dead. That's all there. I mean, what else do you
mean-
do? Like, there's not much to talk about."
Yeah,
there,
but
so.
I think there's a lot that's coming about like post reveal,
like what?
like how the submarine had no business going down there in the first place.
Hold on.
Because there are people that like
I'm gonna stop you right there.
stop me.
We saw the first video, the first picture I saw of it. He was controlling it with a 1982 game
that
controller.
was enough.
That you didn't know at that
No,
point
no.
they shouldn't be going 2.5 miles underwater.
But you also have to understand, I only heard about this post them losing.
That is true.
the
You
submarine.
heard about it on
So
the
I got
podcast.
so I got all the information in one bit.
Yeah.
Not knowing they were going down there
See,
with a
immediately,
Logitech.
I was confused because I saw the video, and I thought this is fake because I saw that submarine, and then $250,000, and I said, no, because if you're doing that constantly, you're millions of dollars. You'd make a sub that works.
Yeah, the capital
Right?
invested in that whole
It's
project.
crazy.
They should definitely have like at least a 50-foot submarine.
Well-
This thing was what, 22 feet?
Well, it's not even that. It was literally just like a tin can.
It was a capsule. It was
It was
like
a capsule.
what do you call them? The
Also-
gas containers, the capsule looking.
They didn't even put like two windows. Like if you could put one window, I'm assuming you could probably put at least one more. Everybody had to share a window that was like 8 inches.
But it's not even a window. It was, or was it a window?
It was a window. They have like one circle. God, look at that.
Or was it just a monitor
to hold my
simulating a window?
That was
Whoa.
Immediately.
I didn't like this
That
angle.
was-
Immediately.
You know, this is
Yeah.
where we talk about impulsive decisions.
Yeah.
That was you should have done that.
And the thing is, it was in the midst of conversation, so there's no way I can cut that. It's got to stay.
It's got to stay. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I said I was going to be the one to hold the mic today, and Anthony said, you shouldn't do that. And I said, I'll be fine. I'm a professional. And then he said, and I've never been so hurt from one word, and it was I don't even know how to put as much just malice into a yeah as he did. Just yeah, and I was just like, but how he said it, I don't even know how to.
So,
it just hurt me to my soul.
The yeah was in response to you saying you're a professional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
like
I am a
can hold
professional.
this.
And I
I
went,
can hold this mic
So
correctly.
I'm imagining a blend of condescending tone, a little vitriol hatred, just from the sheer stupidity of that comment. 10 episodes of the podcast does not make you a professional.
Listen, isn't it 10 hours or something makes you a professional?
when do you become?
What?
How do you become a?
It's a joke. 10,000 hours.
How
right?
much?
Oh,
do you,
yeah.
how much
Is
do you-
that the 10,000 hours?
10,000 hours.
Makes you a professional.
expert.
I
right?
don't.
Or
Yeah, an expert.
is what
yeah.
they claim.
Yeah, but I don't know. Professionally indicates that you guys are getting paid.
Oh, also,
So wait.
hold on.
So I'm a professional editor. then.
Listen.
Yeah.
My wife told me
Yes.
that we're not allowed to make fun of her or say anything bad about her, or she'll stop funding the podcast.
Because she is funding it.
Solely.
Listen. So right now, most I guess technically, it's both of us funding it, but most of the income that we bring in, like a larger portion than you would think, because advertisers want women a lot more on social media than they do men. And so her income is probably double mine. So I have like a third of the income that goes into that business account. So most of the money that's going into that business account, which all of our business expenses, so including Carlton for editing, comes out of there. But yeah, she made that comment, and I thought it was pretty good.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. So technically, I'm an employee of Leslie Marlar.
No, Marlar Media. Technically.
Okay. Because if it was solely her,
You'd have to quit.
I'll do it for free or I quit. Because I refuse
No,
to say
work for less.
that I was employed by your wife. I'm quitting today. You know what?
Oh.
Just gonna move this out of the way.
Signing off.
God, yeah. It's been fun.
No, honestly though, it is like one of those things where I think that I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel, because everybody like warns you, like, man, your wife starts making money or something, and like, don't get me wrong, I still have my job, I still make good money, I still do what I do, and I still have other things from TikTok and other forms of social media revenue that I bring in as well. But yeah, definitely she is like, if you think of what we bring in from social media and TikTok and everything like that, she's definitely the primary breadwinner of that income for sure. But I love it.
You know what?
I'm not self-conscious about it,
And I'll give her kudos, because it's already one thing that she would be the principal breadwinner or whatever, but this also being her first venture making money.
Yep.
Period.
Oh my
It's
God,
amazing.
you have no idea.
You would
it's
think she
amazing.
would be unbearable,
You would well.
but I'm not in this household with you all day, so if you want to vent, dude, you can vent.
No, honestly, there's a lot of things that makes my wife unbearable. That's not one of them.
Is it being a professional? Because I think she classifies for that term now.
Yeah, well, at least I don't know how.
She's more professional than you are.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, by far.
But that's
Well,
including.
I don't know if you can say that. Michael Jordan made the most money, but all of those guys were professionals.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to consider me a professional in anything, you would have to assume you're allowed to take everything kind of lackadaisical, and like even in my job outside of this, they just like he's not going to show up to half the meetings. I'm not the most organized, but I get everything done, and I have learned that if I just outdo the people who are standard, then I got some leeway. You know what I mean? And
Well, yeah.
I definitely do that. And so, like, Anthony and me have the same position. Anthony's better at his job than I am at my job. And it's not really, I mean, like, he's doing fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I technically have more growth, but that was only because,
Your predecessor
where I
sucked.
started.
Yeah.
We didn't have, like, any, and not just my predecessor was, like, because I don't want to actually throw him under the bus. It really wasn't as much. The whole company shifted to, like, everything is about services. And then I took over services. So, like, everything shifted to where everybody was a services first. So all of a sudden we have, like, a ton of services
It
because
wasn't
everybody's focused on it.
It wasn't an equivalent rubric for both
No.
of you.
So, but I look great.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey,
That's all that matters.
timing is everything. But yeah, Leslie is in like the organizational standing and in really most ways it would definitely be more of a professional influencer. I also don't want to be a professional influencer though.
Yeah.
What do you
Like
want to be?
that's not
Yeah. What do you want to be when you grow up?
rich. Like
That's not
mm,
that's not a legitimate answer.
but
What do you want to be that allows you to be rich?
Yeah.
I would suck a dick if it got me there. Once. Right? $1 billion?
I don't believe you because the thing is, there's probably opportunities where you could.
If I'll take a pause right here. I'll make an ad. If anybody wants to pay me $1 billion to suck their dick, DM me.
Is this happening?
$1 billion?
This is also why I keep
$1 billion?
friends.
I'm concerned about y'all's situation if you wouldn't take $1 billion.
Well, I guess I don't want money that bad.
No, man.
I don't want money.
Listen,
that
Cody.
Look,
Look, they have to pay up
That's
front.
the rest of your
That's
life, everything
something
is
you
fine.
can never forget.
No.
You know, it's
Get your money up front.
Listen,
and for everybody that may comment that like, we're being homophobes, you're ridiculous. Like,
nah, see, nobody thought that until you. Sounds
no, there are
like, sounds
people.
like Carlton's a homophobe.
No, there are some people out there
No,
that are
there
like,
is.
oh, they wouldn't suck a dick for $1 billion. Golly,
Yeah,
like
but
get over your manhood. Like, no,
Carlton just wouldn't do sexual favors, women or men. He's above that,
Period.
He went to
Period.
Harvard.
dude,
So, dude,
it has nothing to do with my
How did you
education.
just say period?
You said it.
No, you said it, and then he said it.
Well,
I didn't say it.
I didn't say it first.
You did.
Did I?
You did.
Maybe
She's
it was
rubbing
because
off on you, bro.
no, I think it's because I
Listen.
planned on doing it.
Listen, Kylie has been the best thing for my health and fitness that I've ever had. Okay, she really is the only person who's like, well,
I'm ready for the
there's options.
segue.
But listen,
But
listen. When we're at the gym, there is nothing more demasculating than finishing a lift to a period.
She
Every
loves.
time.
I think she loves the. She loves to be an inconvenience.
Oh yeah, and so literally, I'm like, she instead of being like, "Good job," like a lot of trainers, she goes,
Period.
"Period." Listen, we go to the same gym. She trains me. We're not quiet. We're that sounded bad. I mean, like we're not. We're there. We're not trying to hide or anything. So people see us. You start to know people.
Yeah. Also, you're
Kylie-
famous.
Yeah, I was about to say, do people
Well,
notice you
yeah.
when you're in the middle
Yeah,
of a set? Like,
yeah.
you're
There are
here
people-
grunting,
Yeah,
and they're like, oh my God.
not like that.
Yeah. They're like, oh man.
But yeah, there was a guy. So here's the thing.
I didn't know he grunted like that.
He made a comment, so I'm just assuming he's grunting during every set.
I definitely I'm definitely grunting.
Play like you
But
practice.
Kylie
Practice like you play.
didn't come one day, and I was like, "Well, I'm still gonna go to the gym, get my workout in." I finish a squat, and I mean, I didn't have anybody to spot me, and I thought I was
and you-
bigger than I was.
And you pooped yourself.
No, I got it
okay.
up, but it was a struggle. And somebody from across the room
Mm-hmm.
yells, "Period." He's walking over
And the
toward
thing
me.
is-
I'm breathing. And he's like, "Yeah, she's not here, so I figured I'd help you out with that." So that is how often
It's
she hits me
probably
with it.
a guy that actually knows her or
Oh,
like
she does.
shops
Oh,
at the
well,
store.
I was about to say, so Kylie is in that, like, even her other, like, apart from being
yeah.
in
They all know
like,
her.
personal fitness, she does work at the nutrition shop, the big one in town, as the general manager. So, like, she got all the. If you're at a gym, you've probably met Kylie.
Yeah,
But yes,
sure.
but it was very funny to, I mean, just to think about that for a second. Finish a lift, and she had done it
Period.
so often. Then, period.
Hey,
What does it mean?
I don't know.
it's the chef's kiss to the end of an action or even a statement.
My wife does the same thing too. Both, I mean, her and her sister.
Yeah.
They pick like one word.
Well, she
one
tried to
phrase.
convert to slay,
Mm,
and I
think
told
that's
her
worse.
to. Yeah, it was
I think
worse.
that's worse.
When she said it, I was unattracted, and
told my wife.
I
so many
looked at
times the
her.
Same thing.
I looked at her and I said, "Go back to period. If you're gonna say something, stick with period till you come up with something better than slay.
It's like,
Slay.
yeah, because if I'm not going to the gym with like if
So-
she says
what-
slay after a
Dude,
workout, I'm
it's-
out.
it's
I'm
simple
going
task.
home.
It's
like-
like a catchphrase?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like it's the cherry on top. It's the last thing that she puts on an action or something she said. Like if she did like a mic drop statement.
Period.
Period. We were
I'm
making
just-
sandwiches Sunday. We're making sandwiches.
Finish the sandwich.
We go to
Period.
Walmart. We get all the goods, and we're making different sandwiches. First of all, she was criticizing the heck out of my sandwich. I'm like, I want to eat what I want to eat. She's like, you only put that much meat on it? I'm like,
2 slices of bologna and an American craft
no,
single.
I made a homemade like spicy Italian that you get at Subway.
Yeah.
But I only put a single layer of meat across the bread.
Because
Well
doubles
done.
extra.
What's up? Yeah, exactly. Because doubles extra. Yeah, I put a single thing of cheese because I wasn't. Super
Are you the
hungry.
type that doesn't put queso on your
No.
tacos at home, Anthony, because it costs extra for queso at Chipotle?
That's guacamole.
They charge extra for queso, don't they?
Hold on. Before we continue.
Yeah, go back to your sandwich.
No, I'm going back to what you just said. Anthony, did he say Chipotle?
He did.
What the
Chipotle.
heck is Chipotle?
What is it called?
Chipotle.
Chipotle?
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Is that-
Google it.
It does not have an L.
It
Yes,
does.
it
It's
does. Google
Chipotle.
it.
It's not Chipotle.
God
That's,
damn it.
that
Chipotle.
sounds ridiculous.
Are you for real?
I've
Hold
never
on.
been to
Say
that
it again.
restaurant.
Say it again. You say it.
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
No.
We're gonna look it
I
up.
swear to God, there's a T.
Well, yeah, there
What?
is.
Yeah, that's you have to
But there's
pronounce
an L after that. Chipotle.
For sure.
it. Lay.
L-E.
Chipotle. CHIPOTLE.
That says Chipotle. Honestly. So
Chipotle.
I just figured.
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Listen, we're gonna get away from sandwiches.
You know what they sell there?
and food.
Beans and rice.
God damn. I thought
But-
it has some like good
But
punchline.
to put the bookend on the sandwich, she made the entire sandwich. It's just a mess of stuff, and then at the end, period.
You tell me she made a garbage can out of a sandwich?
Listen,
There's a lot of stuff on there. You know, she calls it like refrigerator nights or refrigerator days when we just figure it out on the fly. She literally was going back and forth to the fridge like, what else could I put on this?
I wish you'd have called me when she's making the sandwich. Here, Anthony's got something to say about this sandwich.
or y'all are. The sandwich
Everything.
is so interesting to you guys.
Hey man, it really bothered me. I don't know. I think it's because I don't like losing, and she made me think I had an inferior sandwich.
And she ended it with periods.
See, he
And
doesn't.
she-
So, just so you guys know, Carlton doesn't have social media, so he doesn't even realize that he literally just described a ridiculously popular
Trend?
trend.
What's the trend?
So it's always actually husbands, but it's about like when your husband makes his food look better than yours. So like you make a sandwich and then your
Yeah.
husband makes like a really great sandwich and you like feel bad and you're like, you know what, fuck you and your sandwich.
That's how I felt.
God damn.
I felt bad eating mine because she was like, "That's it, babe." I mean, I had veggies, I had meat, I had cheese, I had bread, but it wasn't enough. I didn't have banana peppers.
No, that's gross.
I didn't have.
She didn't put banana peppers on a
yes,
sandwich.
she did. I didn't have vinaigrette
You won.
dressing. I didn't
You won.
have.
Both of
you
those
know.
things don't belong. Are you eating a salad or a sandwich?
She had a salad with a little bit of meat on bread. That's what it was. It
She
wasn't
had a
necessarily a
salad.
salad.
You thought you lost?
Yeah, but maybe
Where you put the
Now
croutons
that-
doesn't make it a sandwich.
now
take
that
a
I
vote.
think about it. Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Sandwich.
Hey, is a salad really a sandwich just all tossed together? Because it's got croutons.
It's
Yeah,
got
but no, no, no,
croutons.
no,
bread.
no, oh, shut the fuck
Uh-oh.
up.
Uh-oh.
A sandwich has two.
Are we on
Oh,
to
God.
something?
A sandwich has bread, something in the middle bread. If it does not have that, it's not a sandwich.
What
I'll
about
be honest with
open-faced
you.
sandwiches?
I'll be
Fuck
honest
is
with
an
you.
open faced sandwich?
Sandwiches that don't have bread,
It doesn't seem like a sandwich to me.
but they call them that in all the menus.
Where?
Places that sell open-faced
You're
sandwiches.
telling me it's just like a pile of meat and vegetables.
Yeah.
Carlton,
And there's also burger joints that serve you a burger, but it's wrapped with lettuce, but it's still called a burger.
No, they're wrong. I mean,
I don't care what they
it's
say.
marketing ploys.
Okay, false
Because
advertising.
like,
If I-
listen,
if I ever-
if I called it pile of shit, 'cause
yeah.
that's what it is, you wouldn't buy it. But an open faced sandwich,
Still wouldn't buy it.
still wouldn't buy it. You're
when
right.
when I
want the
look at
bread.
it, I'm like, what is
That's
this?
like saying like they
Hey,
do
Cody.
call it a burrito bowl at Chipotle.
Yeah, it's a
Chipotle.
burrito bowl.
Chipotle.
Even though it's really just
It's just a bowl.
bowl of
A
stuff.
Mexican bowl.
Yeah.
hey, if either of you order a sandwich and get a salad in its place, what do you do?
You know what? I say touche because technically based off my recent findings.
dude.
No,
If
no.
croutons
Oh my God.
are
It is
in the
not a
salad,
sandwich, dude.
it has to be a mixed up sandwich.
If I order a sandwich and I get a salad, first off, that's the universe trying to tell me something. Message taken.
I'll eat the salad.
I'll eat the salad. But two, I'm gonna be mad because
I don't even like
Man.
sandwiches
But speaking
that
of,
much.
okay, so I had Chipotle today. I had what they call a burrito bowl, but now I'm just thinking it's a bowl.
It's just a bowl.
Everything I know is a lie
just a
now.
bowl.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't believe
But-
I've been
Is
saying
it really a burrito?
but
bowl.
listen, I had a ton of lettuce in it. So is it a salad?
name implies meaning.
Mm,
What the hell happened to this podcast?
dude, we're answering questions that the
What
people
is
want.
a salad?
These are questions
Fu-
that people
fundamentals.
have that they don't even know they have.
Yep.
And now we've helped them today.
I don't think so, because now I am just pissed off that I've been calling a bowl
What?
of
How much
Mexican
time are we even at?
ingredients.
Do we even know, Anthony?
No idea.
Does it
Should I
say
get
right
up and
there?
look?
Is it,
Yeah, you
what
should
time was
probably-
it when we
You should probably check.
we're gonna take a break.
Yeah. That was the best one yet.
We're back.
What's up,
Break's
everybody?
over. Alrighty then.
So
So,
you-
for those of you not watching, you should be. All right.
Also,
Oh.
to you, it's a half-second break. But that was actually like 35 minutes.
It's so long.
It
listen,
felt like it.
listen.
Oh.
I feel like Anthony didn't get enough talking last time, so I'm gonna ask him
I'll be
a
quiet.
question this time. Anthony,
Yes.
how does it feel to be given every opportunity Carlton wasn't,
What? Wait, what?
and he's the one who went to Harvard?
Man.
What are you doing?
Also,
love
do
you,
you have a
Carlton.
state ID?
Yeah, I do. I do have a state
all
ID.
right. We're not going down that road.
Yeah.
So,
let me
Anthony-
scoot away from you a little bit.
Cody.
We talked about Carlton's. I don't know. I guess we talked about Carlton's topic of the submarine. Do you have a topic you want to
That
discuss?
wasn't really my topic. That was just a
Shut up,
suggestion.
Carlton.
Yeah.
Is dumpster diving
I told
illegal?
you it's his turn.
Go ahead.
As I talk over him.
Yeah, right.
Is dumpster diving illegal?
Yes or no?
That's what you want.
I'm asking
No,
you.
we're asking you. It's a question.
Yeah.
Like, actually, or do I think it should be?
No, I'm no.
Yes.
I want you to answer
Whatever-
whatever comes out of your
yeah.
mouth next is what I want to hear.
Without any
All right, all right,
context,
all right,
just
here we
give
go.
us your answer.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's illegal, I've broken the
That was-
law.
I knew that was
Listen,
coming.
We knew that you
My
dumpster
first.
dive.
Okay, this y'all are about to get a real insight on how hungry, poor, and really struggling I was for a minute there. My
Yeah.
first bed, yeah, came from a dumpster.
Okay.
So
Did you attempt to clean it?
I tried
What'd you get it
with
from?
minimal cleaning.
Was it like a apartment complex? Was it the back of a Denny's or what?
It was an apartment, and not a good apartment complex.
Back of a
I
Denny's.
probably could have went and found like a good place, but it was the first I saw it, and I said, I need that, because I'd been sleeping on my dirty clothes for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I slept on that dirty mattress for like 6 months.
Dang.
I did disinfect it to the best of my abilities.
Okay.
At the time, I don't know if those abilities would be a good thing. But if you're talking about the kind where you see like on YouTube where a guy finds like $18,000 worth of product in the back of a Target's dumpsters, fuck Target for throwing it out. Or
So
whoever.
what
Because
would you
that's just ridiculous.
What would you do if you woke up and looked out your window and somebody was digging in your trash?
Like right in front of your
I
eyes.
actually bet on that happening every time I put something big on my street. I shine it up. Like recently, I got rid of a washer and dryer that were just god awful and horrible. But I gave them a good, nice bath and set them out on the road, hoping to God somebody took them because I knew my garbage bin was not going to.
And someone did.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So I'm hoping the trash guys.
Speaking
So
of-
you're okay with people dumpster diving you?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's
Oh.
my trash. I don't care what happens to it.
Okay. You know what's
What
a
do
good
you guys-
answer?
What are you guys putting in your trash?
No. You don't really want to know how we got to that. Because what brought us to that question is something we can't even air.
You're like Cody dumps his dive a lot.
No.
No.
We're probably sitting on
No.
a couch that came from a dumpster.
Not at all.
No.
Not
So
at
do,
all.
do you
This
think
came
it's,
from
do
a,
you
this,
think it's
this couch actually
Like,
came from a rehab.
so do you think it's illegal?
Not a rehab, I guess. What do you call the meetings?
AA meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they did this whole like apartment thing, and like a month into doing that, they built a new church and ended up putting like a big AA program there. So
Cool.
we got this in the chair over there for $100.
Okay. Sweet.
Sweet deals.
Yeah.
Man.
You
What
know,
deals
I,
did you
I
get
would
for
give you kudos if you actually bought it out of the goodness of your heart to help the
Help fund
thing,
it.
but you really were just worried about getting a deal.
That's a good deal.
That's a good deal.
Did you guys think there was another option there?
Well, I mean, most normal
Support-
people would just
Support the church? I'm just kidding. Dude, they just built a $3 million church.
What church
pretty-
is this?
It's in Houston, dude.
Oh, I thought it was here. I'm like,
No.
what
No,
church
they
is
built,
that?
they built a $3 million church. I
You
was
still didn't answer the question.
and I haggled him down to
He did. He has
from
not
300.
answered
He
his
hasn't
question.
answered.
Okay,
Is it
what is it?
illegal?
You want to know the like a
Just
legal?
I'm
act
just
like
asking
no.
you. I'm
Ask,
asking you. What do you think it
answer
is?
it as if
I
you
mean, I
know.
assume it's legal because
Why?
Why do you feel like a felon then?
Yeah.
not for those reasons.
Oh my god.
Listen, $20 is $20. Okay?
Oh my gosh. Here we go. Back
No,
to sucking
so-
dick for money. You did it for
Cody's
$20.
thought about it, man.
You did it for $20, but now you're talking about your ceiling is $1 billion. Give me a
You're
break.
assuming that my prostitution would be a man.
It depends on how hungry he
Women
is.
are hungry after me. That's a lie. That's never happened, not once. I would definitely be sucking a cock. I don't think anybody would pay for me to.
Can we move on? So
Yeah,
go
why
back.
don't you keep your look?
I
That way
like it.
people can see your face.
I don't want them to see my face.
Oh, it sounds like somebody's I can't
Yeah.
even say that. Oh,
I am.
shit.
Wow.
Racist.
Wow. I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah. What do you do when you have white guilt? Am I supposed to like
I don't know.
give you
dude.
$1 or something when I say?
Well,
racist
I'm a quarter
thing?
white, so I have some of that guilt in myself.
So I give you 75 cents.
Yes.
I think that was even more racist.
You
What
can't
is
break
even
me.
happening?
Listen,
You can't
Anthony,
break me.
Anthony knew that this was going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
Especially when he showed up, he's like, "So what's this? What are we doing today?" And I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk to you guys.
It was really odd when I show up and you say, "So, is there anything like off the table that you don't want to talk about today?" So I'm assuming you're setting us up.
No,
But
look,
I
I know that a lot of my life is already out there, and you guys had not made the decision to start a social media career. So I wanted to make sure you didn't want to keep like, hey, I don't want you to tell them anything about my personal life, or I didn't know if either of you guys were comfortable. I know you have herpes, and no. I'm just kidding.
And you don't. Is
Yeah.
what you're about to say.
Anthony's never had a sexually transmitted disease. He has to have sex first.
I don't have herpes.
Lacey
But-
had an
but he has a
immaculate
whole
birth.
kid.
It was
Yeah.
immaculate conception.
Listen,
Right.
oh hey, does Lacey watch these?
I hope so.
She's gonna be mad. So I ran into your mother-in-law today, right before this, and I like your mother-in-law. There's nothing wrong, but let me tell you right now, some of the mannerisms, it's like a copy paste. And so this is the question I actually thought of during like that. I was like, man, Lacey and her mom have a lot of differences, but all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, that was the exact same as Lacey. What do you think you have? Like, do you think it's your dad or your mom that you get most of your mannerisms? Like the ones that did get passed down.
Oh, definitely my dad.
Your
For
dad?
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You don't think so?
No. Not as. I mean, I've never been terrified of you. Your father terrified me. Listen, just to be honest, okay. We all worked at a place called. Well, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say it. We
Paper
all
mill.
worked at a paper mill.
Yeah, Paper Mill X.
And Anthony was there. Anthony's father also worked there. Well, Anthony's father had an accident, a firearm accident.
Yeah, firearm
And,
blew
yeah.
up.
And his eye got. It's still there, but
Lost sight.
lost
in,
sight, and it's like a off colored. It looks like a movie. You know what I mean? Well, he also walks. He's a bigger guy, and he walks around like everybody shot his dog. Everybody in that whole entire place shot his dog. So I didn't know who he was, and he just walks the halls looking like an absolute murderer, messed up eye, looking you right in, like making sure he like wants you to look at it, And I was terrified of this man for some reason. And I'm not normally terrified of another man, but I looked at him and I was like, he's seen shit.
Yeah,
Or at least he used to.
He looked at me with his eye.
With his one eye and just terrified me. Then the first time that I really actually got to talk to him, Anthony had came to work for where we now both work a company.
Why?
Why? I don't know if we're even allowed. I don't know. We're just being safe. So Anthony's like, hey, let's go see my dad. And I was like, I don't think we should. I don't think he likes me. He's like, no, what are you talking about? He loves you. And I'm like, well, that's how you guys show love in your family. I can get a few things. No. But I walk in there. This man is the nicest human being I've ever met in my entire life. Just nice and happy and smiling. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And Anthony Sr. begins to tell me, because they're both named Anthony.
We have 2 juniors on the couch.
Are you wait.
Yeah.
Your dad's
Yep.
a
Yeah.
We don't talk about this much, just mainly when you're not around.
Yeah.
2 juniors.
There's a whole juniors
2
pod.
juniors.
We actually have a pod, just me and Anthony.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I bet it sucks.
The junior pod.
That's why I never heard of it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because we
It's
talk about
small.
you.
Small. God damn. It's dad
We-
jokes.
we blocked your IP, so you can't see. You can't see. It's miniature. It's junior. It's a small pod, small production.
Oh my god. Okay. So obviously that like I've never got that same feeling from you though. You're always smiling. You're always happy. You seem like I'm not saying your dad isn't, but he definitely like his mannerisms are maybe he's just changed them or he's different at home. Maybe that's what it is. And I don't see him that often outside of work.
I think it's about the hat that you put on when you go to work and when you come
Is it
home.
this hat?
No, this hat. This is it. This is the one hat that stays on all the time. There might be another hat on the side or hang in my hand, but this is the hat.
Dude, I will say, I have never met anybody. This is version 2.0. He lost the first one.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. It was a
The
bad day.
first one though, when he went from baseball caps, like everybody else, to this hat, he had a superiority complex. Okay. All right.
Tell me
Because
about
look
it.
at this. Look inside here or something. Where's the hidden pocket or something?
It's right there.
Where? There.
Yeah.
See, he has a pocket inside his hat. He literally if I happen to say like something slight for just a second, he's like, "Where's your pocket in your hat?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Pocket in my hat? I don't have a pocket in my hat." And he's like, "Well, then stop talking about my hat because it's got a pocket."
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I hadn't even busted in this pocket yet. That's how new it is.
Yeah, he got it for Father's Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a good father
it
hat.
was. When he lost that hat, ooh,
It was a bad day, man.
he was not happy about
I
it.
was out in the lake, like
Went back to
just
ball cap.
rolling around the lake looking for it, and it was gone.
Oh, you gotta wear your strings. You know what I mean?
Got to.
Gotta wear your strings.
It's about to get deep.
I
Should I string up?
Yeah. I feel like the tone just settled down a little bit.
don't
What are we
even
about
know-
to talk
I don't
about?
know why. You. Which one do you get? Your parents.
My dad. I'm a
Your dad?
mild version of my dad.
Yeah?
My dad is very imposing and very unchecked, unfiltered.
I actually do agree with you.
Yeah.
I've met both your parents.
Yeah.
And I definitely think you definitely favor your dad.
Yeah, I do. But I also have a little softness for my mom because my mom is a very, she's very kind. And what are you about to say? You're smirking like, ooh, he said softness. I'm being
I
real.
almost poked you and said, where? That's what was going through my head.
But no, my mom is very compassionate. She looks at everyone with like, hey, they've got, everyone's got problems. You can't, be so
My God,
harsh on
my
people.
mom and her would not get along.
Well, that's the thing. You never know if you're getting along with my mom or not because she is so just in her zone. Like you can't read her.
Yeah.
You cannot read her. My dad, you can definitely read, but my
Don't have to, he tells you.
He tells you. Yeah, but I'm a mild version of my dad. Like, I do have my dad. Dad is like 85%.
So what do you
Who do you think you are?
name one that you appreciate that you got from your parents, and then one that you don't appreciate?
So since I can remember, my dad is always like put in my head like, you are the best at that thing that you are doing currently, or else.
Or else.
I love that. Or else just don't even do it.
Yeah.
You
Put some.
Like
Like you're not just the best. You're the best. Or else.
Like-
I like that.
playing baseball my whole life, he was like, every ball is your ball until it's not. Like you're the best person on the field at all times. That's the mentality you have to have, even if it wasn't necessarily true. I mean, I've played against pros, like, you know, some high level talent, and obviously they're there, and I'm on this crappy podcast with.
Yeah, how does it feel to be
You know.
the third best guy on this couch?
Depends on what we're talking about.
Listen,
What am I the third best at?
it doesn't matter.
Just potting?
If I just say anything, like, because
You want me to be the third best?
your dad beat you.
Yeah.
The competitive nature in you, I love because I'm also really competitive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have to care, and you're very similar to that.
Yeah. If I don't care about it,
I mean,
I'm
that's
not
why
gonna be.
I think why we have the best rounds of golf. Like,
Yeah.
these three people right here.
because we know we're not
Oh
good.
my gosh, it's
We have
so
no
enjoyable.
expectations for our play. Now there are times where it's like, ugh, like
You're
I suck so
frustrated,
bad.
yeah. Like you're frustrated.
Yeah.
Like I just spent $31 on balls, and I borrowed 3 to finish this 9 holes.
That's why I get reloads, man. That's
It
why I
is
get
no, but
reloads.
it's a blast. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing in San Antonio this weekend.
Ooh,
My
spending some big money.
so my uncle, he's like he
He's famous. He's
No.
TikTok famous.
no, my uncle has a pretty good sized business in San Antonio, and so he has like a membership for his family. Well, since my last name is Marler, they're gonna hook me up
Yeah.
with a tea time. So
You know, my boss
Thanks,
actually
Dad.
has like a membership. I forget what it's called, but basically he has access nationwide to a whole bunch of different courses.
let's also be clear. Carlton's boss is like not normal.
No, he's not
wealthy.
normal.
He's like wealthy.
He's wealthy.
Yeah.
He's a quiet.
yeah.
He's a quiet.
He lives in a house that I would say is almost attainable by me, maybe a hair out of my price range,
Really,
but
the,
is
the house itself is
so-
not like just magnificent. I mean,
No.
it's a great looking
well, I just
house.
mean it's a great house, but it's like
It's not unattainable.
No.
The only thing that really boosts it that much is the area it's in.
oh
'Cause
yeah, it's on the golf course.
yeah, it's
But even
it's
then-
on the seventh
Yeah,
tee box.
yeah. Oh, it's a
So,
wonderful house.
It's
don't
a
get me
nice house,
wrong.
but it's not like
But for what he makes,
If
it's
you-
not the nicest house on the
yeah,
golf course.
If you knew what he had,
yeah,
you'd be like, oh, it's a pretty modest house.
he's also one of the nicest guys. I really do like. Actually, we've actually I don't know. We haven't officially extended him the invite, but we were wanting to bring him on the pod at some point too,
Yeah.
because he is really an interesting story.
He is. I
We'll
think a lot of
save
people
it
would
for-
enjoy
yeah.
him.
I think so. We'll save it for because I really do think we're going to land him on this podcast
Oh, we are.
pretty soon.
I'll make
So,
him.
I'll make him,
Yeah, he may be the boss.
or else I quit.
His signature may be on my check, but I tell him what he does. You know,
Yeah.
right? That's what I make myself
It-
believe.
I'm
You
going to
both
put that.
talk
I'm going to
about-
play that for him on the podcast. So look at this.
No, at one point, you know, I was his PR guy. Like, I would be the guy because he's very emotional, very, very emotional. So I'd be like, hey, don't say that. Or like, he'll be in an interview or meetings, and I'll sit on the other side of the room
Just look at him.
just to give him cues of like, hey, you're talking too fast, or hey, calm it down. Don't freak out. You know, I was that guy for a long time. Yeah,
No,
learned a lot in those meetings too. So
Well, that's one thing I will say. The more you learn to like listen and pay attention to what's going on in a room,
yeah,
and not just for somebody else, but just in general.
in general, yeah.
Like that's where I think I learned the most is when I stopped trying to have something to say all the time in every room and just started listening, watching, trying to
yeah,
guide things in a different way. It was pretty cool. So I like the idea of
just being a fly on the wall.
yeah,
Sometimes.
like just listening. I told my kids this recently. Who were they not listening to? Was it you? Were you there or was it you? I don't
It was
remember
my
who it was.
wife.
It was your
Yeah.
wife. That's what it was. They were just trying to tell her something.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was trying to explain something to them that she's obviously more intelligent than they are. They're 7, but they were trying to just tell her. And I
Yeah.
got onto them. I was like, look, you got to listen.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing a smart person can do is
shut up.
listen.
Yeah,
Shut
Yeah.
your mouth and listen.
yeah, for sure.
Which is weird to think. You know, that's why we're not very intelligent in my house. My wife. Not a lot of listening going on. No, but I mean, I think that's really is a skill set, especially for somebody who can talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all three of us, I think honestly, have a good skill set of understanding. Like, look, I could talk my way out of things. I can be the one to lead the
The
conversation.
gift of the
I can, yeah.
gab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, when do you turn that on and off? And like to learn that skill after you realize, okay, I can I can talk. I can be the guy
Mm-hmm.
who leads every conversation that I have most of the time. It's like, but when you realize, oh man, if I don't do that
Yeah.
every now and then,
Yeah.
there's so much more you can learn, so much more you can do.
Yeah. I do not, I'm a pretty outgoing guy. I can talk to anybody, but the times I don't talk are the times I know nothing about what's going on.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people miss that. It's like you don't have to feel you don't have to feel that silence that is
No,
there.
you don't.
If you don't know what's going on, please just remain silent.
Also, the ability to just say that. So many people think that it's like a negative to be like, I
don't know what
I'm
you're
not-
talking
yeah, I
about.
don't know. Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
Oh my gosh, just get away from that mindset.
Yeah.
Just get away from it.
Yeah.
If you don't know, speak it so that you could be educated.
I say it all the time.
You know what I mean? Just ask.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea. I did it when I first started in this career. I guess you can actually attest to this, Anthony. I had no experience in the technical field we were in.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I had experience in other, in sales and things like that, but like in the actual technical field we're in, I had nothing. And when I started, I had to figure out what was I going to do. So I just started telling everybody, like, look, I'm not going to be able to understand things right now.
Mhm.
I promise I will learn, and you only ever have to teach me things or tell me things once before I take that and I learn it. But when I first started, I would go into a room and say something like Anthony. I would go to Anthony's office, and he was a customer of mine before he became a coworker. And I would just say, he'd be trying to tell me what he needs, and I'd be like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. You're speaking a different language. Tell me what's important. I'll write it down, and I will make sure the right person gets it.
And then when you left, Anthony's like, that freaking idiot.
I bet he was at first, but then it was like,
Knows
I
nothing.
guaranteed nobody was going to outwork me.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to do, I would, like, even though I didn't know the answer, I was walking out of that room getting the answer outside the door. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to wait around. I wasn't, and I knew that being somebody who didn't know. And then knowing when to listen and accepting that if I was in a room with people who did know, shut up and learn.
Mm-hmm.
Ask questions. Be curious. And, it worked out. I guess I've never even asked you.
Did you think he was
At
the
what
idiot?
point were you like, okay, maybe he has some potential here? Because I'm sure at first, like, you're like, this guy's going to get eaten alive.
So it's about, for me, where you were an expert at, and while you weren't technically an expert, you did come in with enthusiasm and a mindset that you're going to help me out. And at that time, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Man,
I definitely, let me tell you right now.
my heart just twinkled a little bit. That was beautiful, Ant.
Hey,
Can I look at you in the face? That was beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah.
Am I in
You're
your way?
good.
Am I in the way of the moment of you guys fawning over me?
No matter how far you lean back, your neck is still in my line of sight.
At least I have a neck.
I have a neck too. That's not a funny joke.
It's not a funny joke.
Show the people, Ant. Raise that head high.
Look at
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, and you got a little neared going on. Love it.
Oh, dude, I got
Little
it.
neared. Do I have
Yeah.
a neared? I think
Yeah.
Not
cut it down.
yours is always.
Yeah,
you stay pretty trimmed though.
I mean, yeah, for the most
But
part.
it's because you don't have a longer beard. It
Yeah, I
takes a
keep
while
it.
for
Yeah, I prefer a shadow myself.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
don't ever keep a big long
keeps
beard.
keeps my defined jawline intact. You know.
Yeah, well, that's why the definition got thrown out the window. So now I can define it however I
Yeah.
cut it.
Define that mug in a zigzag.
You don't
Yeah, my jaw grew like that. No one
don't
would
It's
ever
natural.
know.
It's all natural.
Yeah.
You guys, you don't understand. I had this beard from when I was 190, and then I cut it at 270. I didn't know that it had gone away.
I didn't know who I was.
Like I posted a video, but like after the video stopped, I looked at myself in the mirror and I just said, "You are disgusting." It was. So
I wish that you would have recorded that. Just that after
Yeah.
after the cameras are off.
dude.
Just-
But let-
Especially after like every one of my loved ones. Okay,
Yeah.
my
They're
loved
all
ones were
like,
just like,
"Whoa."
bro, grow that back.
Yeah.
Don't stay this
you know
way.
What? That's an actual question I want to ask though, both
Yeah?
of you guys, and
Okay.
I'll speak on it too. So here recently, I'm gonna get vulnerable for you guys. You
Okay.
ready? Here recently, I have been very concerned about the way I look, man, and not like in a weird way, like oh my gosh, I look hideous. I'm like, man, I put on some LBs, like put on some LBs, and am I going throughout the day sad about it? No, I'm still gonna eat what I want. You know, I can change that if I want to. But like, do you have days where you're just like, golly, I'm sick of this.
He's the attractive one.
No, I'm not.
And this is how you know.
No,
He's like,
dude.
you all have days. I'm like, I wake
No.
up every day and just say, you fat fucking
No,
bitch.
but hey, but it's all about.
I know this is
Look at this.
Oh, look at that. I don't even want
One of us looks like a
It's-
professional athlete, and the other two
No.
look like they got five.
Nah, dude. No, you guys are making me seem like that. You
No,
know,
no,
you guys
listen.
are making me seem
It's
like that
okay.
skinny chick that's like, oh my gosh, I'm so fat.
I mean, on this couch,
No,
you are that
no.
big.
How are they
No,
different?
No, but here's
hey.
the thing. I'm 227 pounds.
Yeah.
227 pounds. My frame is not fit for that.
No, I
Also,
agree.
my whole life I was like 215 and below.
What do you mean
That's
your frame
so,
isn't
like-
fit for it? None of our frames.
Well,
are
Hey,
fit.
listen, what do you think my frame's fit for?
I'm talking about me, all right?
No, okay, listen, for real. Honestly, though, especially where you are right now, where it took you longer to get to this point.
Yeah, because I've been
think
active
I've been
a lot
struggling with it for a long time because, especially coming from as fit as we were, and like the
Exactly.
level of athleticism that we kind of, and even you more so than me when it comes to like college sports and everything like that. Going from that, and people will remember you that way. I mean, I have people from high school who are just baffled to see me sometimes, and you're like, dude, it's just life. Like,
Yeah.
but you were such a, like, I think we both were at a certain level of fitness and athleticism.
Yeah,
Especially in like our small towns, that people were like, "What, you could get fat?"
but it's
What?
funny
It's like,
because
yeah,
I'll see people that I haven't seen for like a decade, and they'll see me be like, "Oh, been bulking up." They still, they don't even. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm actually fat.
you know, and it's just, and this is actually
Oh,
something.
you've been bulking up. You've been in the gym. Like, not at all.
This is something I do believe, which is funny because I think similar to what you're talking about, I have become more vulnerable
Yeah,
the older I get, and it's funny because in a lot of ways I'm the most successful, and my life is at right now doesn't. I'm not going down. I'm going
Yeah.
up.
So what you're
So
saying
I'm-
is fat equates to success.
No. I want to lose. I've been losing weight, wanting to, but
I'm joking.
like my anxiety.
Yeah,
I didn't have anxiety when I was homeless. I didn't have anxiety when I was
Yeah.
grinding for things. I didn't have anxiety until it got easy.
Mm.
That I have struggled more with anxiety now that things are easier in my life,
Yeah,
so much more than I ever struggled with anxiety when I was you think I would, like homeless. You think you'd be anxious as hell. No, I felt fine. I felt at peace. I was good. I was like, I know I can keep going. And I think what it is now is like, okay, I'm kind of at a certain point that I always wanted to get to as like, you know, not the end goal for my entire life, but like this
Yeah.
is the first step. You know, owning a home, being able to afford cars, provide for my family without worry every month. I'm not saying we're loaded, but we're able to live without worrying about feeding my family, because there's been times when that has been my life where it's like I don't really know where the next meal for my kids is going to come from, and it's horrible. I had less anxiety then.
Mm.
And I think that, you know, that kind of plays a lot into it. I think you get to a certain point of with your mental state where you hit that first milestone, and all of a sudden things are a little easier. And you start to look at everything else in your life, and you start to think like,
yeah,
man, I've been so focused. And I think this is a lot, especially for young men. I've been so focused on obtaining what everybody thinks a young man should be after. You know, some wealth, some stability, a family, like those things that we're pushed into, especially as young men, like providing and making sure you're doing all these things. And I'm not saying taking away from women's struggle. It's different, but just specifically speaking from my experience as a young man, it's like you're so pressured to be make sure you're providing, make sure you're doing the, leading, make sure you're setting your sights on what you got going on. And so then it was like, okay, nobody's really looking at me like that anymore. They've kind of now look at me like, okay, you kind of made your first step, that big your early 20 grind. Now you have the house and your family is doing well and you're at a stable job. All of a sudden it was like I realized I was not happy with my body, that I was unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that everything I have could be gone in an instant, and all of a sudden, dude, I have been so much more anxious.
Yeah, but I think what happened in the past wasn't necessarily anxiety. It was urgency to get things done. You had to do it.
Yeah, so it's not
It's like a cousin.
yeah. So it's not necessarily the same kind of. It's not really. It's a cousin anxiety. I like that. Okay, like it was just urgency. You had to. You didn't have a choice.
No choice. Survival.
Which, us talking right now, it makes me think a different way to say what y'all are talking about is that when you're a young man, you graduate from school, or maybe you don't, but ultimately there is a future that you're supposed to be preparing for. What happens when phase 1 is complete? And then now you're at phase 2, but
You realize you didn't plan for phase 2.
you didn't plan for phase 2. And then, because that could be very anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
Well, I think also some people don't worry about phase 2. I think for some people they're happy with what we have right here, and I don't want to act like I'm not happy, with the situation that I'm in. But at the same time, like I know that this can be as good as some people just want, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because sometimes I think, why am I trying to get more? You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, what else do I need? I have a good family. I have friends that support me. I have everything my kids need. But at the same time, I'm still hungry. And it's like, I think some people get to this point and they're okay with that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Sometimes I wish I could be more content with where I'm at right now. And yet I still, man, I have a bug to, maybe it's just remnant of the past of like feeling like I have to. Like maybe it's just like, it'll take a few years of living like this, 5, 6, 8 years living like this to realize like, okay, this is okay. And maybe not. Maybe I keep grinding. Maybe we go to a different level of where we want to be. And I think that really is how you define it too. Because I think my anxiety is more about losing what I have, not about gaining more.
Yeah.
Right now.
Which that to me could be phase 2 is maintain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think you have to be moving at all times.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoy it every now and then.
Because we're all human. We all have a drive currency that runs out eventually. Are you going to stop and replenish, or are you just going to run on fumes?
I also love creating and grinding and going after the next thing I want to work on. And so what I found is maybe it's not always money. Mm-hmm. Maybe there is something else that I can do, grind, push, be passionate about that's not necessarily my career. You know, and that is something I think I'm learning right now is like, okay, do I want to shift to a hobby all of this drive that I've created and critiqued and used? Do I want to let it move to hobby yet? Yeah. You know what I mean? And I worry about that all the time. Like, am I biting off too much? Will this be the reason I lose it? If I just took up knitting, am I gonna knit the greatest sweater of all time? No.
Yeah. You look like somebody who would like to knit.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Be like, oh, this needle's too freaking small.
My fingers have no dexterity in that way. Like really fine motor skills gone. I don't do like tying a knot. I just
my sister crochets and she's like a master crocheter. My mom too. I'm just like I could never.
No,
could never do it.
I also have absolutely no patience for that. It's so weird. Some things I'm so patient with, and others, and I don't know. Maybe it's like I have to want to do it. But other things, I'm like, wow, I couldn't do this for
who really wants to knit?
I was about to say, how bad do you need that sweater? I guess what it really comes down to.
If we were cold, we'd all want to knit.
No, I still wouldn't.
Dude. No, but I think that, I think three of us took very different paths, all of us. Even though, like, y'all both went to college, there's a very different experience that you guys both had.
Yeah. I mean, we're smarter, but we're all like, we're smarter than you are, but you still are comparable in what you've done.
I agree.
Yeah. What do you
I
think,
think
Ant? Yeah.
The jury's still out.
Oh, you know the funny thing is like, if you can't laugh, like even if he was serious,
Yeah. Yeah.
even if he really was, like you just gotta laugh at that comment because
Yeah.
what am I really gonna say? Be like, I'm just as smart as you, and he'd be like, what? Did you graduate Harvard or Yale? What was the Ivy League you graduated?
Well-
it's like he's not going to,
Well,
but you have to be able to laugh.
I mean,
at
as far as I'm concerned, even if it was another Ivy League, it would still be a safety school.
if you're not at Harvard,
It's a safety
It's a
school.
safety
No, that was like the mantra. It
Yeah.
was like because Yale is like the rival.
you must hate it, right? Like that's how it was.
You know, I didn't really conform to a lot of the ways of, you know, the
Bigotry.
Ivy League. Yeah, I mean,
Just kidding.
Jeez.
like for instance, everybody I hung out with, I had comparable friends just like that here.
Well,
I didn't
you
hang out
definitely
with-
opened my eyes when it comes to like.
The
Okay, I didn't want to take. I don't want to take away
No,
from.
I already know
you
what
getting to
yeah,
Harvard
I already
and
know
everything.
what you're gonna say.
But you, the first thing you told me was like, "Oh no, like your son could go." You know,
Yeah, it's
It-
not some unattainable
it's not
thing.
the unattainable thing that
Nah.
everybody sometimes makes it out
Yeah,
to be.
like-
I'm not saying it's not hard to get into.
Yeah,
Harvard.
like was my classmate the
But-
Prince of Jordan? Yes, he was.
What?
Did he have Secret Service with him? Yes, but like you know,
But he went to Harvard.
yeah, I went to
Carlton
the
was
same.
also there.
Yeah, I was also there, so it's like, oh, okay. They let anybody in this place.
No, but I mean that is something that So, and I think that is most people's biggest downfall. If I had to guess, is just shooting too low.
Yeah,
Like it's like if you were gonna go to college, why not at least
But-
try?
but-
to go
but
to a
also,
certain
I
place
can't
and
act
do a
like-
certain thing.
I can't act like that was my mentality. I shot the complete opposite direction, and someone tapped me on my shoulder, and I turned
Yeah.
around, and it was Harvard.
Well,
Like
I'm not
that
saying
wasn't-
that you had the mentality. I'm just saying like
The analogy was actually perfect if you know the whole story.
yeah. So he was recruited to Harvard.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like it wasn't like his lifelong plan.
no, I can't tell you that I ever thought of any Ivy League institution until they called me. Yeah, it's a real story.
No, I mean, and the thing is, like,
I was
once
going to
he-
Oklahoma. I was verbally committed to OU to play baseball
Ugh, we wouldn't be friends.
till I was like, I was 15 when I was committed to OU, and I had no desire to go anywhere else. I was born in Oklahoma. I've been a Sooner my whole life. For
He
all
was
you,
committed at 15.
for all you Sooner, I mean that's kind of normal.
Is it?
Yeah, for like athletes, for sports.
Sorry.
I mean, if you're good,
I didn't know.
and
You
I'm
were
not
a
trying
Sooner
to-
your whole life. It's really like
you
I'm-
knew that.
I sell out to the bigotry.
Boom.
Just shut your mouth, 'cause
Boom.
Longhorn baby. So I verbally committed to UT. They didn't know it, but I was like,
But I told all, my
I told
family.
everybody I was going there.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man, told everybody. That's funny.
It's the first time I've ever heard of you being committed to anywhere.
I actually was committed to a few places.
I'll have you know, I didn't go to Harvard.
I didn't go to Harvard, but Paris Junior College was after me.
Actually,
Pursuing me with a
no,
commitment.
no. Juilliard called me. I said no.
Nay.
No, I want to end up at
9.
San Jacinto Junior College in Deer Park,
Oh,
Texas,
Oh,
which
that's
is where I
funny.
spent 2 months. I didn't even finish the semester.
Is that? Didn't you leave because they? What? Why did you leave?
Well, I was homeless at the time,
Yeah.
and
What about the first time? You isn't that the second time you left college? and said,
no.
"Screw
So the
this"?
first time I went to college was right out of high school,
Yeah.
and I ended up losing the place I had to stay, and
Yeah.
the dorms that they didn't have dorms available that year,
Mm-hmm.
and they told us like, hey, we don't have a place for students to stay this year. The dorms will reopen next year, so you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And because I got a full ride to San Jacinto, I got a full ride to a lot of places, and I ended up going there specifically because I had family there, and I just, I didn't think I was necessarily destined to be at
Yeah.
any college for theater. Like, I still, in the back of my mind, wanted to go back to pursuing athletics when I got healed and my ankle was back to full health.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't really worry about where I was going. I just went to somewhere I felt like I had family, and I had support system. Well, then I broke the only rule my family gave me, and I've already told this story, so I'm not going to get into it too much. But so part of being full ride theater is you had to participate in every show,
And you couldn't do that because you had to work and all that stuff.
yeah. And so it was like I had to
yeah.
choose between work and
Yeah.
participating, and my professor just didn't believe me. He's like, "You're
Yeah.
not homeless." I'm like, "I very much
Yeah.
so am." And so he just basically told me, "Well, I'm going to kick you out if you don't show up." And I was like, "Well, you're going to kick me out, I guess, because I got to eat." And I went and got a job working as a mechanic.
Yeah.
Actually,
I got a question for both of you when it comes to college. Was that something that was in your household, like you had to go, or it was expected of you? Or was it just like if you would like to and if it would benefit you and what you want to do, yes, but otherwise like just be a productive member of society.
I was the first person to ever even attend college.
Okay. Gotcha.
I didn't graduate, obviously. My little
Yeah.
brother Tyler, he was the first one to graduate.
Gotcha.
So definitely not. And I would still say that, my family doesn't even really push college as a good option.
Yeah.
They push
It's more of a cash
certain
grab.
college.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with that.
Like trade schools and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, like engineering degrees or,
Yeah.
Degrees that have a consistent field. I'm
So
really
not
glad
East
I
Asian
didn't graduate.
studies.
Yeah, I'm glad I did not graduate with a theater degree. There's nothing I want to do that helps me with. So I think that there is a benefit to going to college if you're gaining a good skill set, or if you just want to go to college and live that. Don't go to a college that costs you $200,000.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to pay that debt off. But if you go to Texas State, it's so cheap. It's a party school. You can live that
I was
life.
about to say, you picked
know?
the one school that I know other than Arizona State where you go there to party.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there are schools.
And you happen to have classes.
And you can get it. You get a 4-year degree. You could get a business degree, and guess what? That still is a business degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you.
That's what I tell people all the time. It's like
Yeah.
it's the same piece of paper. It's the same type of paper. It just has a different name on it.
Yeah, but your name is a
No,
bit.
but
Come on.
No, like
Come
no.
on.
I'm not saying the outward perception. I'm saying like there are elitists out there that like you didn't even know where I went to school for a long time.
What I mean is, do you believe you got the same education?
I
that
do
you would've
believe
got at Texas State.
I mean, math is math. Science is science.
on.
History is history.
I agree
So
with
like
that.
at the end of the day, no, for real. It's true, dude. Look,
You agree with math is math?
math is math.
Yeah, but the teacher's teaching it, the students around
No,
it,
that's
everybody.
okay. So
That's
the
what I'm talking
different,
about.
the
I'm not
only
talking about
difference.
what you learn. I'm talking about, I guess I am talking about what you actually learned. Not can they give you a degree in
Okay,
something.
so here is what I've told people is the difference. I learned the same subject matter, but at an accelerated pace, as if I was 3 people.
yeah, and that's what I mean by that.
So like the workload and athletes, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
You had the same expectations
and
as a normal
that's
student.
what I mean. I'm not saying like math is not math, but I mean like I know people, and I'm not going to say anybody's names, but I know people who graduated with 4-year degrees who are dumb and did not learn anything and still graduated. I don't think you're going to go to Harvard.
No, I had
walking down to there with a 4-year degree and not have done anything.
Well,
Yeah.
I have classmates that were complete morons.
How'd they get through it? It was
Some people are good at taking tests. Some people are good at giving the right answers. Doesn't mean they possess intelligence.
I still think on average you're getting a better education at Harvard than at Texas State. I would almost guarantee it. I think the statistics would say that.
I'm not going to say that's wrong. I'm just saying it's not like I'm learning some Illuminati secret stuff.
No.
Like I'm not learning different methods that are
No.
never heard by any other college.
No, that's not what I mean.
You
I just
know.
mean if you were going to look at the
How
average,
how is our education
I don't-
different? I know what the Illuminati is.
Yeah.
you're telling me you were
I know-
never. You were telling me.
I know if
so
they're
hold on.
real or not.
Yeah. No, but I do agree. Like, yes, math is math, history is history. But I just mean in general the level of not just education, but also the students attending.
Well, yeah, and
You know what
plus,
I mean?
yeah, like
Be
I'll
prepared
admit, and I'm not trying to say this, like most of my teachers wrote the book that we learned from.
Exactly.
So yeah,
There's something to be said about that.
yeah, that's cool, but I didn't care that I took a freaking planetary class, and the guy that discovered one of the Earth-like planets was my teacher. But I wasn't fanboying over this guy. I was just
Hey,
like,
I have a question on that though.
what's up?
So were they teaching from their own book?
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
god!
I'm actually
I did write the book. You know.
No, I'm actually gonna name drop this guy because he's well known. He's worked on a few presidential campaigns. He's been in like that sector. Greg Mankiw. He's you've never probably heard of him before, but he's a big wig in the economics world, and he writes the book for Ec 10, which is the intro economics course, and he would write a new edition almost every year just as a cash grab. And he made it to where
But
like
Harvard's like every other school.
Yeah, for sure.
so like
For sure.
you know we had a little community where you could sell books from previous classes to other people. That is the one of the few books
couldn't.
you could because
Is though
it'd be a different edition. The like some of the workbook problems would be slightly different that would get you different answers. So you could not use previous
I respect
editions.
the grind, man.
But dude,
Guy knew what he was
every
doing.
year he had a new edition of the
Hey,
Ec 10
His
book.
face has numbers with dots and then another number. 1 dot
It was
27.
ridiculous. Yeah, but I was
27.89.
but I was also the guy that wouldn't buy books until the finals. I would go strictly off of because
Learning what they're supposed to be teaching you.
yeah, because I was so about not spending my money on books. I don't know, my parents they knew too. Like they gave me money for books,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't use it for books, and they'd be pissed.
How much were your books?
How much were books?
Yeah.
A couple $100.
Oh, okay, just normal.
What did
Yeah.
think? That
Would
Harvard
you think
books
they were a
cost more?
grand a book?
Yeah, probably because they know they can get it.
$5 a page. No, I used to.
Anthony is sold out to all of the
No.
the Harvard like.
So-
you must be rich if you went there.
No,
No,
but-
it's need based financial
It's
aid.
need-based financial
So
aid.
why not spend $1,000 on a book?
This is true because so
See, this shows the lack of education in me. What are you talking about?
there's no such thing as a merit-based or athletic-based scholarship in the Ivy League. Period. So for anybody listening that's had friends that went to Harvard on a full ride, it's a complete lie. They don't give scholarships. They never have. They don't now. I worked in the admissions office for 3 years, so I would know. It's called need-based financial aid. So
So you got to be poor.
Yeah.
no, not necessarily. So they don't want money to be a reason why you don't go. So what they do is they have an algorithm they plug your parents' income into, and it spits out a number on the other end that they think you could comfortably pay for your income. So any person that
I actually
gets
like
in,
that. I like
yeah,
that.
it's a great system.
That's a good
Anybody
system.
that gets in, it's accessible to them monetarily. Is
I like
how they
that.
want it to be.
I like that a lot.
Because they don't just want it filled with a whole bunch of rich people
kids.
that could get in. So there are people that didn't pay
Yeah,
a
because you
dime.
can only take so much of the Jordan Prince's money, you know.
Right? There's only so much. I don't even know what their currency is.
No.
But yeah, to give an example, my family paid nothing. I didn't get in for free, but I had jobs on campus.
Yep.
So out of my paycheck, I would.
That's what you were telling me. It's actually
Yeah.
really cool.
So I
think
had
that
no
is
debt coming out.
I think the problem with most schools is it's not about that. It's more
Yeah, it's
about
not
the cash
accessible.
grab. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's- they're just trying to get like UT especially like really bad right now. It's so expensive to go to UT, but because it's just such a popular school,
Yeah.
they're not going to do anything.
Yeah. UT sent me a recruitment letter for baseball. I burned it. I specifically burned that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
did-
the only letter I didn't keep.
I wouldn't even I wouldn't even consider going to Oklahoma.
That's okay. There's
Like,
nothing
I
there.
was that way. I
No,
was
it's
like,
okay.
no. I was
Yeah.
like, I won't go to any school in Oklahoma. either.
Better
I was
school,
just
but
out
you
about
know.
it. All right, well, this is the last time he's on the podcast.
Yep, that went.
No, I think that was a good rundown, especially of I think a lot of people our age who
Yeah.
are kind of struggling with phase one maybe being over,
Yeah.
and I think that that's okay, and it's okay to then have some anxiety
Yeah.
about other things.
I actually.
You know, because you're looking at yourself differently for the first time because it's always been about
Yeah.
the grind.
Yeah.
I had to
now-
reassess.
Yeah. I saw something today. It was like, when you're 20 years old, if you think about it, you're only 2 years removed from being a teenager.
Yep.
So you're a 2-year-old adult.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Makes sense, but I would start that age at 25 because you really don't live a real unless like if you go to school. I know you're different. Stop.
I was like, shut the fuck up.
If you go to school,
I had 3
your
kids
life
before
kind of
23.
starts at 23, 24.
I agree.
If you don't go to college, yeah, it probably starts right then. Yeah, you're different. You're an outlier.
Very different.
But yeah, it depends on like when you actually start paying bills, when you start living on your own,
Yeah.
when you have a family. That's really when your adult life starts.
I
period.
agree. I've told people like what is an adult, and my thing is when are you
What's
when are
going on
you
in your life?
completely disconnected. I don't mean like you have your own apartment but your mom pays your car payment and your
Yeah.
bills. No, I mean like when is the first time everything you have is reliant
It's
on you and you
dependent
have
on you.
nothing else. Like your mom and dad won't bail you out. Like this is you. You got to do it.
Yeah,
And when that is all on your shoulders, then you're an adult.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I'm
a
not
good
taking
definition.
away from anybody who's had a different path. I think it's I want to give I want to give my kids the path of starting at 24. You know what I mean? After college and those kind of things. Now,
Yeah.
given if they do decide not to go to college or something, I'm also very much so open to them not going to college at all if they have a better option or a better idea of what they want to do. I don't think college is required. And I
No.
know that, and it's
I
not
don't think so
coming
either.
from where I'm at because
No.
I wish I would have gone to college.
Yeah.
Like where I'm sitting right now in the job I have, holy cow, my life would have been easier. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be who I am without all the
Yeah,
trials.
I'm one of the few with a college degree in my job.
I don't think it's a requirement. Like even when I had my own business and things I'm looking at now, it's never going to be a requirement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't see that as something that I have to, like, oh, if you didn't go to college, you don't have the right skills. I'm like, dude, I think just judge them by what they can do. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you
And-
think the opportunities are going to look like in 18 years? Like, Ant, you just started this journey. You're about 3 and 4 years behind me and Cody's youngest.
Yep.
The climate 18 years from now,
I don't know.
Are you guys scared?
Well, I think
Nervous
I think
for the
what's-
kids?
right now for me, I'm more terrified for Bryce
Okay.
because the value of a 4-year degree is it costs more than ever and is the least amount of value on average
Yeah.
right now in our nation.
Yeah.
And that is terrifying to me because it's like, okay, I don't want to impose my will on him
Mm-hmm.
because you go to college next year. But at the same time, like, man, I really hope he's not dumb enough to study something worthless. And I don't know how to say that nicely. Like, I think if you're studying something that doesn't have a financial, like, path forward for you,
Yeah.
man, I don't think that's smart. I mean, don't get me wrong, because here's my thing, and this is what I'll tell anybody. You can get the same level of education on a topic on your own
On
if
YouTube.
you want to, on YouTube, reading books, everything
Yeah.
like that. The biggest difference is it will not come with a
The
certificate. You cannot
validation,
prove it.
the
So,
certification.
I tell people all the time, go to school to get the validation.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about something, you can go later if you want. If you feel like you really need to go to college to learn about, a topic that does not pay,
Mm-hmm.
go do it after you have your job, or do it on your spare time. Take night classes.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna get a degree right now, get something that pays, because right now, our middle class is depleting. $100,000 used to mean you were freaking set 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You could live good, and now that is not nearly what it used to be. And so these jobs that are starting out at 60 grand that were starting out 10 years ago at 54, it's like, okay, it went up 6 grand, 10%, a little over 10%. The problem is inflation went up 60%.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what terrifies me is I'm like, man, I just hope he makes the right decision right now, because I'm like, I hope that our country's better off.
Mhm.
That's what I hope. I think we've been trending in the wrong direction, but based on history, it's a pendulum. Everybody freaks out, but you look at the history of our nation, and
Yeah.
it goes back and forth between.
Because history indeed
Yeah,
repeats itself.
And so I'm sitting here thinking, well, look, I'm hoping I get to live through all the worst. That's
Yeah.
what I hope. I hope if there's a war, I get to fight it.
Yeah, that I'm
If
there.
there's a Great Depression, I hope I'm the one that has to find the work. If there's I hope I have to do it
Yeah.
right now. I hope we're in the worst of it. And my worry is that Bryce
Yeah.
is going to get caught up in the worst of it
Mm.
before he's
ready.
ready. And that's not that he's not extremely talented
But
or
he's
capable.
a kid. You know?
He's a kid, like you said,
Yeah.
a 2-year-old adult. You know, if a depression happens right now, I don't know if I ever get out. I mean, I might still be homeless, right? I mean, if there wasn't so many jobs, I couldn't not get
Yeah.
a job if I wanted it when I was homeless. And I'm not saying like right now there's still a ton of jobs, but if things go worse, and all of a sudden jobs go away and things get hard, it's like, you know, I don't think I don't know if I make it.
Yeah.
So that's what terrifies me as a dad is like, if there's going to be a World War III, I want it now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of my kids
while
will go
they're
fight. Yeah.
while they're in your grasp.
Yeah,
still.
and I can go fight in their place.
Yeah. What about
Right.
you, Ant? What are your thoughts as a new father?
Yeah, I've been a father for 4 months.
4
Same
months.
old 4 months,
Yeah.
not including the pregnancy.
So 13 months.
Yeah, but the main thing that's going through my mind is focusing on fundamentals with my child,
Yeah.
and making sure that I have systems, even for me, in place to where I am helping him develop emotionally, physically, and his ability to think critically is at the forefront. Because I think if he can think critically about anything,
He can make it out.
he
of
can make it
anything.
out.
Yeah.
And that goes for the children I don't even have yet. Is can they think critically?
That is so hard to teach.
Yeah.
It is.
Because it is
Because everything else outside of your homestead acts against that.
and it's
Yeah.
so hard because you have to hold them to a standard they don't understand yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
So it
gosh, it's
almost
so
feels
hard
like
to
you're
do
being
it.
a tyrant.
Yes.
Yeah, even
You
compared
know.
to their peers.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like, why can't you just tell me how to do it?
No.
Right? And it's like, you don't understand that right now I'm trying to teach you, and you're not even like, because I look back, I at 10 years old, I thought the same thing, but I realized my dad's teaching me to think about it, and he's teaching me these things. But gosh, did it feel like tyrancy?
It did.
And it felt like he didn't love me at times. And it's
Yeah.
like, now I look back and I'm like,
That
"God,
was
is
love."
So
That was it.
valuable.
You know?
I can't calculate
Yeah.
how valuable it is. That is so hard as a dad
It
to
is.
to have to look at your kid struggle
Mm-hmm.
and not help.
Yeah.
And because that's really what it is. To teach a kid to think critically and work on the to problem solve, you have to let them have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I wish they could every day of their life would be problem free, and then I could take all their
Yeah.
problems. But I know it's not.
And it's not only difficult to let them figure it out, but it's also difficult to not like just be frustrated
Oh,
with them.
yeah.
You know,
'Cause
like
you do want to, because you're like, this is common sense.
yeah, this
Just,
is
you know,
ridiculous, but I'm
Yeah.
26 years older than my son.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to me, and
Yeah.
that is hard. You know,
Yeah.
and because my sons and me had a conversation last night about what it means to be an honorable man and why it's like you have to start caring about that.
Mhm.
And it's like that conversation is so hard to have
Yeah.
because it's like you see their disappointment when you're explaining, like, look, you're not doing what you should.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the times, like, all the other father stuff is like, I don't care, that's easy. The hardest part for me is like understanding that I can't be their best friend,
Yeah.
that I have to be the one
It's got to be rough
that
sometimes.
holds them accountable,
Mm.
that for probably a good portion of their life, I will have been the worst person they encountered. I hope,
Well-
because I hope I
Well, not
keep
the
them from
worst,
that.
but the
For
most
them, no,
pressing.
but that,
like,
well, that's what
you
I
know.
mean. The worst, like they feel.
They're gonna
That's what I
feel
mean. Like, not like I'm actually, but
perspective-wise.
perspective as a kid.
Yeah.
At a certain point in their life, I will probably they will see it in a twofold light. Like, I think my kids love me and they respect me, and that they'll never
Yeah.
not see that. But they'll also be like, man, he just.
Yeah.
It feels like he's just always on my
Yeah.
case. I'm the villain in his story. For
I
a minute there.
definitely felt that way about my dad. And then I
And-
also, on the flip side, would feel sad thinking about it as an adult. Like, man, I really did not understand. And I
think-
looked at my dad as this villain
Yeah,
when he
for-
was not.
And,
Yeah.
and it's here's the
You
thing,
know?
and you can't show the vulnerability. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've had to watch my sons cry
Mhm.
because I'm teaching them and they're hurting because they feel disappointed.
Mhm.
I can't tell you how many times I've had to just wait and then go in my room and bawl because I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't show them that right now,
No,
not yet.
they got to see
They
the.
have to. They
the
you know,
gravity
this is,
of it
Yeah,
and-
and because it's like I don't want them to think that what they're feeling is wrong.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's something you learn and you work through. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a hard part of it being a dad.
You want me to hold it for you again?
All right, now that we got really deep with you guys, thank you for making it this far. If you haven't liked, subscribed, follow us. It's really helpful. Leslie will be back next week. Thank you guys for coming. We're going to end it here.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Let us know if you'd rather have the guys and not Leslie.
Oh, please, let us know.
Please do not. My wife will murder me.
I'll put a poll. I'm the editor. I'll put a poll at the end.
Yeah.
We'll see if you
Turn
guys
the cameras
Well-
off.
see ya.
We're going to lose our funding.
We're going to lose our funding. We're going to be defunded.